So, these two guys, Mike and Dave, decided they were going on a crazy trip to Japan to learn more about samurai culture and stuff. They were super excited, like anyone would be, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to dive into all that katana and samurai honor stuff? They spent some time there, visited temples and everything. But here's where things get weird. Every time they entered a temple, they started to feel like someone was watching them, you know? Like that shiver down your spine you get when you feel like you're not alone, even if no one's around. And then you might think, oh, it's just their imagination, right? But, oh boy, they were together and feeling the same thing at the same time. Like, you can't ignore that. At first, they even joked, you know. They were saying things like, is there a ghost samurai watching us, and laughing, trying to ease the tension. But the more temples they visited, the stronger this feeling got. It was like something ancient and mysterious was keeping an eye on them. They told some local guides about what they were feeling, and people started talking about old stories of samurais who swore to protect their sacred places even after death. And let me tell you, that just made things worse. Because every time they heard a story like that, they started imagining that one of those guys could be looking at them at that exact moment. Their trip was becoming kind of an obsession, you know. They could barely focus on the beautiful places and incredible traditions of Japan, because there was always this sense of an invisible someone, like an invisible presence, following them. And it was draining their energy, man. On the last night of their trip, they decided to visit a super ancient temple, almost hidden, that wasn't on the tourist maps. And when they entered, the feeling was stronger than ever. Like, they felt surrounded by all these ancient souls, watching every step they took. And here comes the craziest and creepiest part. When they were about to leave the temple, they heard a low sound, like a whisper, but in old Japanese. They didn't understand what was being said, but the feeling it brought was like a pure icy energy, as if the words had passed through them, like a dark wind. After that, they ran out of there, and that was the last thing that happened before they returned to Brazil. And, honestly, I don't know if they came back with good or bad memories of that trip. Because even now, months later, they still feel that invisible gaze, that thing from Japan following them, as if the samurai culture is still alive and watching them.